Hello and welcome to this answer video from Classroom Secrets. In this video I will take you through the answers to the questions on the worksheet Fractions of an Amount. You may notice that for most of the questions I describe more than one way of finding the correct answer. This is because more than one method can be used. The first question says, use these counters to find 3/5 of 25. So I know there are 25 counters in total, and my job is to find out 3/5 of 25. I'm going to start by looking at the denominator, which in this case is 5, which tells me that I need to split these counters into 5 equal groups. So that is what I'm just going to do now. Now, because the numerator is 3, the top number of the fraction, that means I am interested in 3 groups of counters. It can be any 3 groups, so I'm just going to shade in all the counters in 3 groups. To find the answer, all that's left to do is count each counter that I have now shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Therefore my answer is 15. I can check this mathematically by doing 25 divided by 5, which is 5, and then timesing it by 3. 5 times 3 is also 15. Question 2 says, true or false, 3/4 of 24 equals 18. So once again, I'm going to use my mathematical method. 24 divided by the denominator, which is 4, equals 6. And then I'd use that 6 and multiply it by the numerator, which is 3. 6 times 3 is 18, which matches the answer there. So it is true and correct. Question 3 says, draw counters to complete the bar model to solve the calculation. So the calculation we're trying to work out is 4/5 of 30, and as you can see there are already 6 counters in the bottom row in this part of the bar model. Therefore, I am going to continue by drawing 6 counters in each other part of the bar model, because I know that the groups need to be equally shared. Just to make sure that this is right, I could either count each individual dot and see if there are now 30, or I could use my mathematical times table knowledge. If there are 6 dots in each group and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, 6 times 5 equals 30. So I know that that bar model is now complete. Now back to the calculation, it says 4/5 of 30. So we are interested in 4 groups this time. So I'm going to pick any 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, if we know that 1/5 of 30 equals 6, this helps us to work out 4/5 of 30, as all we need to do is times 6 by 4, which equals 24. Just to check, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And there we have our answer, which we can also write there. For question 4, we have been given a bar model. It has 56 in the top row. It has been split into 8 equal parts on the bottom row. As you can see, I have already divided 56 dots into the 8 equal groups. This information will help me with working out the answers to these calculations below. So as you can see, there are 7 dots in each part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I know that 1/8 of 56 equals 7. This information will be very helpful. So for this one, it says 2/8 of 56. So to work this out, I could take any two of these equal groups and count the total number of dots. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can check that this answer is correct because I know that 2/8 is double 1/8. Therefore, the answer to this calculation should be double the answer to this. And I know that double 7 does indeed equal 14. One final way that I could use to find the answer is I could divide 56 by 8, because 8 is the denominator. 56 divided by 8 equals 7, and then I could multiply 7 by 2, because that's our numerator. 7 times 2 equals 14. Now for this second one, I need to find 4/8 of 56. So once again, I could pick any 4 of these groups and count the total number of dots. However, this time I'd like to use a quicker method. So I'm going to divide 56 by 8, which equals 7, and then I'm going to times or multiply 7 by 4, because that is our numerator. 7 times 4 equals 28. Interestingly, 4/8 is double 2/8. Therefore, I could have found the answer to this second one simply by doubling 14. Double 14 equals 28. Finally, for our third calculation, it says 5/8 of 56. So once again, I could choose 5 of these equal groups and count the total number of dots. However, this may take some time. So instead, what I'm going to do this time is, I know that 4/8 plus 1/8 equals 5/8. So I can just add 28 to 7. 28 add 7 makes 35. To check my answer, I can divide 56 by 8, which equals 7, and then times 7 by 5, which equals 35. As you saw here, there are many different ways and methods that can be used. Some take more time than others, but it's up to you to choose which one you prefer. Marie and Sally each have £32 to spend. Marie has spent 5/8 of £32. Sally has spent 3/4 of £32. The question says, how much money does each child spend and how much do they have left? So this is a two-part question. To find out how much money each child has spent, first of all, we can start by dividing 32 by 8, because that is the denominator. That equals 4, and then multiplying 4 by the numerator, which is 5. This makes 20, but because we are working with money, we must remember to put the pound sign. We can do the same for Sally. So we divide by the denominator, which in this case is quarters. So 32 divided by 4 equals 8. And then 8 times the numerator, which is 3, equals £24. So we know that this is how much they each have spent. The second part of the question says how much do they have left. So all we need to do for this is start with £32 and subtract Marie's £20 that she has spent. which means that Marie has got £12 left. Similarly, we do the same for Sally. He started with £32 and he spent £24. So that must mean that he has £8 left. For question 6, we know that Stefan has 20 erasers. The question tells us that he gives 4/10 of these away to his cousin. He also gives 2/5 of these away to his sister. The question asks us to find out how many erasers Stefan has left. Before we get onto that, we need to find the answers to these calculations. So if we divide 20 by 10, that makes 2, then times by 4, that makes 8. So we know that he's given 8 erasers to his cousin. For this one here, we can do the same. Divide by the denominator, so 20 divided by 5 is 4, and then times 4 by the numerator. 4 times 2 is also 8, so he must have given 8 to his sister. If we need to work out how many erasers Stefan has left, we must work out how many he's given away altogether. We can do this by adding 8 and 8 together, which makes 16. The final part of this question would be 20 take away 16, which tells us that Stefan has 4 erasers left. For question 7, Lucy and Joseph are calculating fractions of an amount. Who is correct? Explain how you know. The statement says, out of 27 ice creams, 2/3 are sold. How many are left? So if we work out what 2/3 of 27 is, this will help us work out how many ice creams have been sold. So 27 divided by 3 equals 9, times by 2 equals 18. So we know that 18 ice creams have been sold. To finish this question, if we know that there were 27 altogether, all that's left to do is subtract 18 from 27, which leaves 9. So 9 ice creams were left. So the child with the correct statement is Lucy, because she has said that there will be 9 left. Joseph said there will be 18 left. He has mentioned this number instead, so he has answered the question by saying what 2/3 of 27 is and how many ice creams have been sold, but the question asked how many ice creams were left. So Lucy is correct. That was a video tutorial from Classroom Secrets on fractions of an amount. I hope you found it useful. Remember, you can find the linked video tutorial over on kids.classroomsecrets.co.uk.